Hey everyone, welcome back to my beta Better Than Adventure world. Today we're just having a bit of a chill one, just doing a bit of building and a bit of chatting. Because I was talking to my friend the other day and he said he really likes the talks about random Buddhist things because he just finds all that very interesting, and I'm the same. Truth be told, I've tried to record this episode twice now already, but I just end up yapping on about random stuff, so I'm just gonna try not to do that now. What might interest you is that I've been playing on a mod called Better Than Wolves, and that's actually where, you know how this mod's called Better Than Adventure? That's where the better than comes from. It comes from Better Than Wolves. It's this old, it's not really a beta mod, but it's an old mod that focuses on making Minecraft more like a survival game than, well, I guess rather than a sandbox game. I've been playing that recently and it's been great fun, but it is so difficult. So if you want to see a video of that, do let me know. I'm not really sure if it's that entertaining. I mean, I think I'd have to edit it up because there's quite a lot of repetition in that mod. You just kind of do the same thing. Anyway, today we're going to talk about Zazen, which is meditation in Zen. Zazen literally means seated meditation. Zen meaning meditation. That comes from the Chinese Chan, which comes from the Sanskrit dhyana. Anyway, Zazen, simply put, oh look, there's a pig up there. Simply put, it's just meditation. It's just seated meditation. Oh, it's nice and warm in here. Too cold outside, I think. Yeah, it's just seated meditation. And in Zen, or especially in Soto Zen, it's sort of very simple. There's a form called Shikantaza, which is emphasized, and Shikantaza means just sitting. And it's quite a strong just. It's not, I'm just sitting here. It's just sitting, absolutely nothing but sitting. And the idea is to be able to just sit, to not worry about the past, not think about the future, not worry about your projects or anything at all, but just to be completely in the act of sitting with your body and mind. And that is easier said than done. It's a very difficult thing to do, but it's a good ideal to strive towards, I think. There's some monsters out here. I quite like the brown spiders actually. It's kind of a cool texture, but they are quite scary. Oh my god, he came at me there. So, to help me illustrate this, I'm going to read a bit of a text called Fukanzazengi, which is written by 12th century monk Eihei Dogen, who, if you know anything about Zen, you would have heard of Dogen, because he is the founder of Soto Zen in Japan, which is a very, popular big form of Zen, even today, especially in the West as well. I'm actually going to be going to my local Zen center soon, in about a week, and they practice a form of Soto Zen. Okay, I'm trying to think of what to build next. I kind of want to go around this pond. I don't want to disturb the pond, obviously. Anyway, when I read this text, this is the bit that I start yapping on, so I'm going to try and keep that to a minimum. So I'm not going to read out the whole text, even though it is very short, and I recommend you read it yourself. The translation I'm using is from the Soto Shu, which is like the big Soto Zen organization from Japan. So I'm just going to read some bits from it. So, quote, "For practicing Zen, a quiet room is suitable. Eat and drink moderately. Put aside all involvements and suspend all affairs. Do not judge, do not think good or bad. Do not judge true or false. Give up all operations of the mind, intellect and consciousness. Stop measuring with thoughts, ideas and views. Have no designs on becoming a Buddha. How could that be limited to sitting or lying down?" So this is talking about basically being able to let go in Zen, in Zazen practice. And this is one of my favorite parts, honestly. It's such a freeing thing to do, to be able to not worry about good, bad, this, that, or whatever, just being able to put that aside and just sit. And that's really the idea. Oh, and also it advises doing it in a quiet room and eating and drinking moderately. Obviously, a quiet room is good because, if you hear like the TV or something, that's going to disturb, it's quite easy for your mind to be taken away and follow what's happening on the TV. And eat and drink moderately. I'm imagining this means like, well, don't have too much to drink so you need the loo or something, I think. Or I don't know, don't have like a really heavy meal that upsets your stomach or something, because that probably would not be good. Yeah, have no designs on becoming a Buddha. It's not expecting anything special out of Zazen, and just being able to really sit there and just be. Even though you might hear about special experiences or this, that, or the other during meditation, they do happen, these kind of experiences, but it's not really something to strive for. It's not something to worry about and aim for, because it will only distract you, really. So after that, there's a massive, it's not huge, but it's a big paragraph about posture. And posture is so important in Zazen, especially, I think, in the Soto school, they really emphasize this. Now, don't worry, this isn't about crossing your legs in any special way, because most people are not flexible enough to do that. But it is, the main thing about posture is having your spine straight. So I'm not going to talk too much about the posture here, because it's very difficult to describe posture just through words. So I'll leave you to do that. That can be your homework. But the main thing is to keep your spine straight. So then he says, quote, "Once you've adjusted your posture, take a breath and exhale fully. Rock your body left and right and settle into steady, immovable sitting." So literally, rocking your body is quite good, because then you end up settling somewhere in the middle where you're kind of stable. So that's quite nice. Think of not thinking. Not thinking. What kind of thinking is that? Non-thinking. This is the essential art of Zazen. Now, this little phrase, this little passage, is I've heard so much discussion about it, and I actually recommend Brad Warner's video on it, or his name is Hardcore Zen on YouTube. I mean, I do like his stuff, but anyway, he gives quite a good talk about it, because he does it from the Japanese, because obviously this text was originally in Japanese and it's been translated. So yeah, he kind of knows the what they're trying to get across with the different Japanese terms that the original text is made of, which I can't really do here, but I'll just leave you with that. Think of not thinking. Not thinking. What kind of thinking is that? Non-thinking. This is the essential art of Zazen. And believe it or not, that is all that he says about what to think about, which is kind of shocking, I think, to some people, because you might think of meditation as primarily a mental practice, but it's only that one sentence about what to think about. Think about not thinking. Like, what? That just doesn't make any sense. But yeah, well, I'll leave that with you to sit. So the next bit goes, quote, "The Zazen I speak of is not meditation practice. It is simply the Dharma gate of joyful ease, the practice realization of totally culminated enlightenment." End quote. Now, you might be wondering what a Dharma gate is. Basically, it's kind of what it says on the tin. It's a gate into the Dharma, as in it's a method of experiencing the Buddha's teachings, if that makes sense. The Dharma being the Buddha's teachings. So Dharma gate just means a way to experience the Buddha's teachings. And it's interesting, he says this is not meditation, although it definitely is. When we're talking like literally, it is a form of meditation. But I think what Dogen's getting at is it's not about sitting and trying to do something special with your mind. It's just well, what he says, the Dharma gate of joyful ease. And that's a really beautiful way to describe it. It's not about any kind of special state or whipping up your mind into thinking, feeling some kind of way. It's just being joyful and being at ease. And that's just a lovely way to think about meditation, and really something to think about while you're meditating, because sometimes if you meditate a lot, you can kind of get into, you can work yourself up thinking, I should be feeling this way or thinking about this or whatever. But just putting that aside and being joyfully at ease is so lovely. The practice realization of total culminated enlightenment. And this is really important as well to Zen, and especially Soto Zen, is that Dogen's saying that enlightenment is the same thing as Zazen, the exact same thing. And this is kind of revolutionary because a lot of previous Buddhist schools think of enlightenment as something very difficult they have to work a very long time to accomplish. But what Dogen is saying is, while you're sitting Zazen, that is enlightenment. Not even the way to it, that's enlightenment realized here and now. And, well, it really is true. Anyway, I won't go on too much about that because that's kind of a big topic. But I will talk about what I'm doing in game. I'm just smelting up some clay bricks. Oh, clay brick? I guess it is a clay brick. Anyway, I think next I want to build like a library. And I wanted to use some bricks because I've not made anything out of brick yet. So I'm just going to read one last bit of the Fukanzazengi and then move on to something else. So, quote, "When you arise from sitting, move slowly and quietly, calmly and deliberately. Do not arise suddenly or abruptly. In surveying the past, we find that transcendence of both mundane and sacred and dying, while either sitting or standing, all have depended entirely on the power of Zazen." End quote. I don't really have too much to say about this, because I don't know if I fully understand it myself, but I like how it says about standing, rising from sitting slowly, calmly, deliberately, because this is sort of how it feels to do Zazen, or how it feels after Zazen, is just being calm, quiet, and deliberate in your movement, and in your way of being, which is a really beautiful thing. Then the next bit is about transcendence of mundane and sacred, is all dependent on Zazen. I'm not going to say anything about that, I'm just going to leave it there. Now, I do recommend that you read the Fukanzazengi. It's really nice and very short text, but do beware that Dogen writes very poetically and uses a lot of references to old Chinese stories and sayings and stuff that if you don't know the old Chinese sayings, which you probably don't because I don't think many people in the West have a great knowledge of old Chinese sayings, specifically the ones that Dogen references. So to really understand them, you kind of have to read an explanation with the text. So yeah, I'll just leave it there. But the main thing I want to get across with this whole thing with Zazen is that it is extremely central to Zen Buddhism. It's basically all of Zen Buddhism. Without Zazen, there is no Zen. And everything else, all the other scriptures and ethical practices and, chanting and bowing and everything is sort of supplementary to Zazen. Zazen is always at the very core of this practice. And everything else is just it's still important, the other stuff, but it's, sort of secondary, in a way. Okay, so I hope that was pretty interesting. I'm going to leave the video there now because I wanted to keep it short today, because this is sort of I might take a little break after this video because Christmas coming up, and I've had actually a very busy week this week, and haven't really been that not really been very motivated to make videos on this world right now. So I just wanted to put this video out there to say Merry Christmas to everyone and Happy Bodhi Day as well, which by the way was 2 days ago for me. recording this, and it's the day that we celebrate the Buddha's enlightenment, which is Bodhi. Anyway, but yeah, I might take a little break after this, but don't worry, I haven't gone anywhere. And do leave a comment if you want to watch me play Better Than Wolves, or talk about a specific topic, or any ideas of what I should build, because I'm not really sure what to make next. So yeah, please do let me know, and if you leave a comment, I'll pop you in my garden if you're not here already. So thanks very much for watching, everyone. I hope that was quite interesting, and my own takeaway from this video is I strongly encourage you to practice Zazen, or any type of meditation. But I feel like Zazen's quite easy for beginners. Well, maybe not easy, but it's appropriate anyway. It really has changed my life for the better in so many ways. And yeah, I just love it, so but I'm going to ask you to do it, aren't I? Yeah, thanks for watching anyway, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!